Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hello. Yep. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. Today, I shall just be working on my little miniature Irish chain that I showed a couple days ago. I've showed it before a couple times too, but now I'm like in the mood to just work on it because I'm not feeling too good today. But secondarily to that, I don't want to start another project because I can't even hang them up anymore. My finished quilt tops have now overflown the closet to the point where I can't hang them. They are now folded in on the ground over there in a pile because, well, I have a custom client quilt on the long arm right now, and as soon as that is done and I get a break from other people's quilts, I'm gonna literally probably go crazy and quilt a bunch of mine, even though I have nowhere to put them once they're done either. I mean, I have unbound ones over there. I don't know what to do with anything anymore, you know? I just have so much. So, anyway, I'm gonna see who's all here if this is loaded by now. Should have been. All right. We have Vicky, Kim, Linda, Tracy, Mary, Minnie, Peggy, Up, UP. It says Uplifter is what it says. Lori, Linda, Brenda, Barbara, Crystal, Heather, Delia, Jacqueline, Renee, and so many more. Welcome, everybody. Like I said, I'm just working on my tiny stuff because, you know, that's what I'm doing. So with my tiny piecing, I also have a tiny iron. The only reason why I'm using this one and not the other tiny iron, because I have more than one now, this one has a point on it that helps me hold back my little 1-inch squares without burning my fingers. It makes it a little bit easier. The other one is more round top, so I got to have a pointed top for this. I used to a long time ago only use a little tiny miniature iron, but I don't think that works as good as these, so I will literally just do this. And what I've done here is I've actually just sewn two together. I have decided at the last minute for myself that I'm not going to sew together the same colors on the diagonal like I was doing, laying out that. If I'm going to be making a big quilt, I might as well not pay attention to that part and just sew these into rows of 7, I think. Yeah, of 7, except I will have to add my gray, which is my background color for the Triple Irish Chain. I'll have to add that. That way I could make the quilt faster if I don't have to line everything up like that. And what I mean is, Scott will hold this up and you can see that the same fabric runs across it, you know, on the diagonal like that.
Yep, I can hold that up.
I'm going to avoid doing that, and I'm just going to chain piece, and there's the other one. And I'll tell you all the numbers of the math that I'm using so that you know, in case you have little 1-inch squares that you want to use up. So that's a 7 by 7 layout, 7 across by 7 down. And there's 4 1-inch squares on the 4 middles. So 1, 2, 3, 4 1-inch squares that are my background. And then my background piece that connects to this, you know, to make the Triple Irish Chain. This is on the 4 sides right here is a 1-inch by 2-inch piece. And then there's 12 1-inch squares. And then the center square is 3 inches. That gives us a 4-inch block. That's how it is. So if you want to make one of these two, it's very, very easy. It's just a triple Irish chain. I think Irish chains are probably one of the easier quilts to make, although you don't have to do 1-inch pieces like me, but I have a goal to use a lot of this up. And well, I just got more 1-inch squares, so obviously I have more variety to add to my quilt that will eventually be made of all of this. If I can get it as big as a lap quilt, that would be great, but I know it's going to take me a long time to do that, and it'll be really, really heavy because the more seams, the more heavier. So it'll be a pretty hefty quilt when it's made, which is okay by me. Maybe I could even enter it into a show because it'll be a labor of hard work.
Instead of a labor of love.
Instead of a labor of love, yeah, because these there's nothing. I have nothing against sewing these 1-inch pieces. I like sewing tiny pieces, but after a while, though, especially if you have arthritis in your hands like me, you get very tired with them. Oh, come on, just open up. And then you get tired of looking at them too for a while, and then you have to do something else. And that's the cool part about this, because it all fits in tubs, and I don't have to always do this. But on days like today where I can't start anything new because of my overflowing quilt pile, I just might as well sew all this.
The smaller squares, the wonkier they get. How do you keep them straight and even?
How do I keep them straight and even because they're small and get wonky? Well, I make sure to iron them. Lots of ironing. Because yes, they do get wonky, but with a project like this, you could, when you saw him showing it, as long as the seams are in opposite directions when you put your rows together, and your seams should nest up because they're all the same size, but you can tell it's a little on the wonky side, but all the seams are nested. So when I put them all together, it'll be fine. I shouldn't have to trim or square anything as long as I, iron everything before I put it together. But yes, they do get wonky. They get crooked seaming. But as long as you continue with your 1/4-inch seam and you make sure you're pressing everything, even steam helps too, getting it all flat. So steam and pressing and keeping that 1/4-inch seam. If not, then it's going to get super wonky and nothing will line up and you'll have issues. And we don't want that because these are so small.
Are heavier quilts any harder to long arm?
Are heavier quilts any harder to long arm? It depends on what kind of heavy. If it's like t-shirt quilt heavy, then not really. It's not harder. But if it's t-shirt quilt heavy and the person decided to put minky on the back, yes, it's harder to long arm because it makes my long arm sound like it's bugging out. I don't know if that even is a word, but when something sounds normal, and then you add thickness to it, it goes, that's what it sounds like when I run the machine with thicker stuff. This is just going to have so many seams next to each other that I'll be able to long arm quilt it, but I just have to watch not to put a thick batting in it when I finally do get to doing this one. The thicker the batting, the thicker the whole project will be and the heavier it'll be. Just keep it upright. All right. Slide this over, grab some more squares. Let's just put some of these inside here. I was trying to mix all this up from all these bags so that I have a nice variety to grab and sew. So right now they're just 2 together, and I'm just going to hook a 3rd onto each, and so on and so forth. And just chain piece. Oh, they're hooked together too. The whole heck of a lot of them together with a 1/4-inch seam. And I do use a 2.0 stitch length when I do these things so that they get some stitching in them. Because or else your stitching will be so separated they'll just fall apart, and you don't want them to fall apart when you make little tiny pieces like this. Want a variety. They also just like to fall everywhere too. And some of these are probably not exactly 1 inch, but some of them are. I found a couple that weren't the other day. I was like, why in the heck is there 1.5 inch pieces inside of this pile? I had no idea how that happened, but there was. Sometimes I get tired and, just put things away and I'm like, oh, oops. You just got to do your best to line them up. That's another thing. Do your best to keep them lined up, and you should keep it as, it should stay pretty square. They're a little bit harder to hold because they are small, but they finish at 1/2 inch. So it'll be a really cool quilt when it's finished because they'll be so tiny.
Teeny weeny tiny.
Yep, teeny, eeny, weeny, tiny. But I definitely don't need any more teeny weeny tiny pieces. I have plenty. So these, I'm pretty sure this whole stack will be all my row 1s. And then I'll go from there. Because row 2's all the same. This one I have to, after the 3rd piece, I got to add a gray piece. And that will determine how many blocks I'm making. However many is right here.
Are they called postage stamps?
No. So anybody can call any size square quilt. I have seen people or heard people call words. The 2.5 inch squares postage stamp quilts. I've heard people call 1.5 inch squares postage stamps. I've heard people call 1 inch squares and 2 inch squares postage stamp. This is more of a postage stamp right here. But when you want a finished quilt, I personally believe that a 1.5 inch, so that it finishes at 1 inch, would be the postage stamp, because postage stamps are 1 inch. Well, at least all the ones I've ever bought. I mean, you can get the shaped ones too. Oh, thank you, Katie. How wonderful. That was super nice of you. Okay, keep going. I would never do any of this by hand. For any of those that are curious, this is way too much to do by hand. Got to do it by machine. Problem is some of our fingers, mine are arthritic. Yours are probably chunky fingers. I've heard that. Chunky fingers can't sew little tiny pieces. You gotta have like also the ability to keep still a little bit. Like I have the shake, so it makes it a little bit harder. Oh, and good vision. Gotta have good vision to do these because they are a little on the very small side.
They like your t-shirt. Why don't you get up and show them then?
Oh, my new t-shirt that are only for me. This one's my rainbow Tiffany Quilty Life shirt. My neighbor's, let's see, can you even see it on camera? It's kind of like dulled out. In person, it looks better. On camera, it doesn't look that good. But I had 4 shirts made for me so that when I went to QuiltCon, I had 4 shirts for the 4 days, and I wore them. My neighbor was kind enough to make them for me. We bought the shirts, though. They just made the design on it, which is better than not having the shirts. feel like I have to hold my arms up to do this too, because it's they're so small. I'm gonna knock them all off the table if I don't. And if you get one upside down, oh well, who cares? There's going to be so many little tiny squares in this quilt. It's not going to matter if they're right side up or upside down. Come on, get it on there. Can you tell I'm crazy enough to do this? If you guys have questions, you can ask. I feel like I'm like not talking at all. Doesn't have to be about my tiny piecing here. This is relaxing though. You know, just sewing these little squares.
Having a heat wave.
Huh?
Tell them we're having a heat wave.
Oh yeah, it's hot here. It's also windy as windy gets outside, let me tell you. The wind is windy. It's really, really windy outside. Like every time the gusts pass, it passes through. We don't have an attic, but we have a crawl space and there's air can pass through, you know, so when it passes through it, it makes all these creakly, cracky sounds. It's crazy.
How big was this quilt?
This quilt will be as big as I feel like I want it to be. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to stop here. You know, just going to keep going until I don't want to go any further. But my goal is a usable quilt, not a wall hanging. Although right now it sounds amazing to have a wall hanging because then I wouldn't have to piece forever. But, you know, I have a lot of 1-inch squares. So I might as well use them. And how long it will take me, that one I don't know either. Because I only work on it every now and then. Especially when I don't want to do anything else. Like this. I do have like 5 other projects underneath the sewing desk too that I probably should do some more on, but you know, I'm just in the mood for this, so that's what I'm gonna do.
What have you binge watching this weekend?
What have I been binge watching? I have been watching well, Virgin River just had a new season, so I started watching that, but lately I've been watching Rizzoli and Isles, both on Netflix. But Virgin River just got its new season, so I've been watching that.
Tell him Scott's doing Peaky Blinders because the movie's coming out.
Yeah, and Scott's watching Peaky Blinders because the movie's coming out. And then we watch movies every now and then mixed into.
Well, that was the actual question.
Yeah.
Watching together, but since we're not watching anything together at the moment,
we're not watching any television shows together. He watches whatever he watches in the living room, and I watch what I watch in my bedroom.
Well, the new movie's coming out this week, so you should start watching Peaky Blinders with me.
He wants me to watch Peaky Blinders too, because he really likes it.
It'll be my 3rd time watching it.
Yeah. But right now I'm watching Virgin River. Why? Because it's a good show. I like it. I'm waiting for Outlander to get the last of it too, because that's the other show I like to watch.
One person brought up Bridgerton.
I keep seeing the commercials to Bridgerton, but I don't know if it's the kind of show that I like. I know I can't tell unless I watch it, but I have a feeling I'm just going to turn it on and I'm not going to like it. I'm really weird. Like, some things I like, some things I don't. I guess I'm food picky and TV picky. Which way does that go? That goes this way.
And they like Rizzoli and Isles.
Yes, I really like Rizzoli and Isles. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I do.
Have you ever heard of Poldark?
Poldark?
Poldark, all one word?
No, I think I've seen commercial.
I've never even heard of it. They say it's on Netflix.
I'll have to see. If it has to do with doctors or criminals or happy-go-lucky, then I'd watch it. I'm not really into action TV shows, although I did like Outlander, which has action, but it also has, death. It also has family. It also has all sorts of everything. It's a little bit of an everything show, but all set back in the day.
Here you go. Here's a real question. I took the plate off to clean my feed dogs, and all I did was use a brush, and now the feed dogs won't stay up unless I push it up from underneath the plate. You know what I did wrong.
Took the plate off to clean the feed dogs, and now they won't come up? Did you accidentally put the feed dogs down? There is a thing you can clip, I don't know, somewhere on the back of the machine, somewhere on the front. Turn your feed dogs up and down and let it click by rotating it through. See if they pop back up. I've never heard of them pushing down and not going back up again, unless you pushed really hard, but that's a lot of effort to do that. Feels like it takes forever to get through one big long pile like this. All right, let's lay some more out. I want to use solids, really. I'm not trying to use solids because the my background fabric is a solid. I don't want to confuse that with other solids. I'm not really doing a defined triple Irish chain either. Like some people only put the greens, like how I did the single color going down it. Some people only do like a greens here, a yellows here, and a reds on the opposite side of your triple Irish chain. I'm not really doing any of that. I'm just doing this. Doing what I'm doing here. Ooh, will this skull land in the middle? That'd be cool if it did. Nope, only half of him.
Did you use a stripology type ruler to cut the 1-inch squares?
I did not use a stripology ruler to cut 1-inch squares. So a lot of them were sent to me. I don't know how the person that cut all these did that. I cut mine single. So when I'm cutting scraps down, if you go to my epic quilt video and I'm cutting my scraps, anything that's left over that's small, I cut down into 1-inch squares and then I just stick in a pile. So it's all self-cut. This whole entire bin, for me, what was in there before I added a little bit of the other stuff, is all self-cut. I cut it all by myself. I mean, you could use stripology rulers to cut all this stuff up, but this is just my original pile was just years of after the fact when I trim my scraps down into, you know, usable pieces. This was all just my little 1-inch leftover stuff, and I cut it and use it. But now I started a new pile where I'm not cutting 1-inch squares because now I literally have much, so it's all going in the garbage now because I just don't want it. But if I have 1-inch strips that are 2.5 inches or longer, I'm actually saving those because I'm going to do a jelly roll race, but not jelly roll. It's going to be 1-inch pieces. I'm just going to hook them all together and sew them like a jelly roll race. I think that'll be fun because, you know, I think it'll be fun. So that's my new thing. Instead of cutting 2.5-inch squares, 1-inch squares, I'm just going to, you know, throwing things here in my, ooh, here's a crab, flower, blues. Yep, so that's my thing now. I'm not cutting 1-inch squares no more. I probably will stop doing that completely from my scraps and start, if there is a good, nice 1-inch strip by 2.5 or bigger, then I'll keep it and put it in my pile that I have now started, which is going to take forever for that pile to grow, but that's okay. I haven't really been cutting scraps as much lately because usually I do that at night, but I've been really busy with other things and catching up and also having medical problems, you know. I feel like I'm going through stages where I could do and do and do, and then I can't. And it sucks, but whatever. It is what it is.
Could you use iron-on interfacing, or would the weight of quilt be too much to manage?
So you can. That's what these are. This is a grid, iron-on interfacing, so you could put all the squares on this. Here's a table runner version, you know. So you put all your 1-inch squares on here, obviously on the glue side, and you just lay them all on there, and then you would fold it up, sew that row. Fold the next, sew that row until all the one-sided way rows are. But this will make it heavier. What I would say the grid is best for, honestly, this is my own personal opinion. I think these kind of grid things are best if you're going to be using your 1-inch squares to make a mosaic or pixelated quilt. That way you can glue on all the pieces where you want them to be and create your picture, and then glue the whole thing down, and then nothing gets out of order at all. That's what these are for. But for this project that I'm doing here, because it does involve other size pieces, it's not going to work for that. This is a single piece thing. But if you're going to make some kind of mosaic-y, pixelated quilt, then these probably be good. But it will be heavy and it will be stiff. So just know that it'll make quilting a little bit harder. So straight line quilting is probably the best idea for these kind of things. But I do have some, and it's a table runner's size, and I will eventually make something with it, but not today.
If you did it as jelly rolls, you'd have to nest a lot of seams.
If you did, what is jelly rolls? The Triple Irish Chain? Yeah, you would have to nest a lot of seams. This is the same thing. It's just smaller pieces. If you use jelly roll strips, you could make strip units to do it and have it very uniform. There are plenty of free online patterns for it, but just know it's actually easy to draw up your own Triple Irish Chain from jelly roll, because jelly rolls, when you start putting them together, it's 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 10.5. So you would know that 2 of them together on a jelly roll one would be 4.5. 3 of them together is 6.5. So you'd be able to get your measurement on what your piece right here would be. You know what I mean? So when you put everything together, you'd have the proper sizes because everything runs in 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, and so on and so forth with jelly rolls. So it'd be easier to design your own triple Irish chain that way.
What is your stitch for 1 inch?
My stitch for 1 inch is a 2.0. Nothing bigger. You can go smaller if you want, but I don't use anything bigger than a 2.0 because then my pieces will fall apart. And that is not what we want. We don't want all this to fall apart.
What batting are you planning on using?
Batting that I'm planning on using would be just a cotton, probably. Just 100% cotton. I don't think a poly would work with this because, again, it's going to be very thick and it's going to have a lot of seams. Come on. Okay, thank you. Plus, lately I use cotton in almost 99.9% of everything, unless I'm doing a show quilt of my own.
It's only because it's the cheapest one.
Yeah, right
So
now,
I keep buying it.
right now the 100% cotton is actually cheaper than 80/20 and poly for, well, at least what Scott's been buying me. The giant rolls, you know, because I buy by the roll, not by the prepackaged bags. I'm almost to the bottom of this pile, and then I gotta press it all. And some I will add the gray to, and some I will just continue sewing. I guess I can do like 10 blocks at a time. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I already have a ton of those. I already have a ton of that. I feel like all I have is repeats going on, and I'm digging through this pile. Definitely
Remember how much we paid for a roll of cotton, our 30-yard roll?
a 30-yard. I think we paid like $250 or something like
I
that.
thought it was 180. I thought it was under 200.
Oh,
I don't know. We'll say 250.
It's around $250. Also depends on where you buy it from and what brand. Some brands are more expensive than others. To me, they all feel the same. I hate to say it out loud, but that's my own personal opinion. They all feel the same. I mean, there's a couple brands that are a little bit more fluffier feeling, but if you start ripping at them, they tear apart. And there's some that don't do that. And then there's some that are super smushed. They ain't even an 1/8 of an inch thick. All right, last one for this round. Oops, that's upside down. Let's make it right side up. If I see it, I gotta pay attention. All right. Move this out of my way. And I'm gonna do like 10 at a time. 6, 7, 9, and 10. And then press, because I'm trying to make sure they're all pressed in the same direction. So I have to watch its previous piece. That one's going that way. That direction. Going that direction. As long as they're pressed in the same way, then it'll make it easy for me to nest the seams as I add more pieces when I start putting the rows together. And I just put one row on, opposite of the previous row. That one's going that way. How in the world did I only sew 2 together? I was sewing on to 3s and I ended up somehow hooking just 2.
Oh well.
Oh well, it's
Do you want me
pre-started.
to cut them apart for you like I was doing earlier?
Well, I'm going to do them in 10s, so that this one I just did 20, but I'm going to do them in 10s. That way, these 10 will get the gray on it, so that way it has the top piece. So these will be my top one. Then the next 10 will be the row that I hook 7 regulars, and then the next one, you know what I mean? And then that way I can make 10 blocks.
Tell them what Oatman is.
Oatman is a place. It's a little town that kind of looks like a ghost town, but it's not. It's a town in Arizona that you can go and do things at. That's Old West themed. Well, not a lot of things, but there's gun shows, where they pretend to kill each other because it's the Western Old West stuff. And there's old buildings. They're all made of wood with creaky floors. There's a bar.
There's the donkeys.
And there's donkeys, just running about.
Now they're running the whole town. They go into the stores and everything.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, they have the run of the town. They go into the stores. They do all, you could feed them the feed that you could buy at the stores to feed them. You can pet them. You can do whatever.
Pen with these small squares.
Becca's pen. Pen. You mean the seam starch pen? I have one of those. I don't use it very often because, as you can tell, this is already a lot of work. Why add to it? Because then I'd have to put it on every seam. And you can just leave the iron on top of it and it gets flat. I don't need starch. 2, 3, 4.
acorn pen?
7. Yeah, I have one. 8. All right, I lost count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes, I have an acorn pen. Yeah, buried over there in my ironing stuff. If you're curious what it is, it's time for me to stretch anyway because my hips are killing me. You get this refill starchy stuff, or you can just fill it with Best Press. That's what Becca does. And then you get this pin thing. It's a pin, like PEN, and it has this brush on it. And if you push down on it, the starch comes out onto there, and you brush it onto the seams before you press it. So you go on the back side onto the seam before you press it. And then the theory is it's supposed to be flat seams. Problem is this one extra step that I don't want to do. So I have it if I really, really need it, but I don't want to use it. It's for those that like those extra steps and want everything to be super perfect. I don't really care. You guys know me. And if you hold the iron on it like this, it's just as flat. 8, 9, and 10. It's just like a clapper, 2. I'm smiling. See? Sorry, when I'm in a lot of pain, I don't smile that much, and Scott does everything he can to make me smile. So he's back there, does silly faces and says stupid things just to get me to smile. It's very important to press these 1-inch pieces, because if not, nothing is going to lay properly together. There's 10. If I do 7 piles of 10, that's 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 piles. So then these can be hooked to those, and then I'd only have to hook 1. All right, I see what I'm doing here. So if we're going to do it standing, so if you have any questions, ask away. Again, if you want to do 1-inch Irish chain like me, this is a 3-inch square. Then you need 4 per block. This is per block. 1 3-inch square, 4 1-inch by 2-inch squares. And then on this block, you only need 6, 9, 10, 12 1-inch squares of your print. And then on this one, it's a 7 across by 7 down grid. So 49 pieces. And then you need 4 of those 49 pieces are your background gray, so that when you hook them together, you have that tapered down for because it's a triple Irish chain. So if you want to make one, this is how I do it.
How long is your hair?
How long is my hair? It's down to the bottom of my back, but I have to cut it, I think. It's getting kind of dry at the bottom. I just did a treatment on my hair the other night, and I realized that the whole like this far when it's down about this far of my hair, that much of it is like dried and it needs to be cut off because it's splitting and stuff. And then maybe it will grow nicer because right now it's a disaster. But it's long. I'd take it down, but it took me a minute to get it up. Or else I'd show you. But it's getting long. It's pretty much almost to the bottom of my back, right at the top of the curve of my back. But when I cut it, I'll probably have to cut like 4 inches off, so, which will be sucky because it takes me forever to get it this long, but it's not growing very nice.
When doing borders, do you do the top and bottom and then the sides, or the sides?
When I do borders, depending on the quilt, if it is a fully square quilt, it really doesn't matter sides first or top and bottom because it's a full square. Unless it's directional, then you would do the sides first and the top and bottom. On a rectangular quilt, I do the sides first and then the top and the bottom. That's just how I do it, unless you're doing mitered borders. If you're doing mitered borders, then you hook them all on at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but you know, you start hooking them all together on there, and then you do your corners. So that's how that goes. And if you're doing like a piano key border, it's the same thing. You would do your sides and then your top and your bottom. If you're doing a square at the top of, you know, on the sides, on all 4 sides, then it doesn't matter. Just hook your sides on and then hook your square pieces. You know, but on an average, we do the sides first, then the top and bottom. Gives the quilt some direction, but I do know people that do the top and bottom first and then the sides. That's just not how I do it. I think it looks cleaner the other way. The sides first, then the top and bottom. All right, one more pile to press, and then all the others are going to get pressed and turned into the 7 rows that I'm going to have. So I'm going to start turning it into 7 rows, and then I'll have done 10 blocks, or started on 10 blocks, you know what I mean. And then I'll do the same thing, but with the other pieces for the other direction. I know it sounds confusing. I'm not trying to confuse you, but really I'm not doing this to teach. I'm just doing this is because I need something to do. Right now my hips are killing me. This chair doesn't make it any better. So I need to stand. At least this part. It's hard to stand while sewing 1-inch pieces. I can stand and sew any other size, but these 1-inch ones are a little bit harder to do when standing. Okay, there's 7. So now this. There's 10, 20. No, I'm good, thank you. 30. 40. 50. And not enough to keep going. So I'm going to set this aside and make, how many I have? 10, 20, 30, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8, 9, 10. Maybe I can stand and sew these. We'll see. Yeah, might as well. All right. Hold on, I'm going to make... one. I don't want two whites on each other. No. 2 and 3. Yeah. I was talking to myself, sorry. We're going to start an auction. How many did I say was here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put 2 more on this. Put 1 more on this. And we'll press it. And this is why you press first and add after, because they don't lay like you want them to lay. And you can't sew like you want to sew. Okay, auctions start out at $15. And you just, whatever. If you've never joined an auction, shipping is free within the United States, but outside the United States, you need to pay your shipping. And that we take Zelle, Venmo, and PayPal. PayPal does have a fee, though.
It's 25 by 22 and a half.
It's 25 by 22 and a half. And there is hanging hooks on it to hang it on the wall. Are you kidding me?
On to enter and bid, they just type a number.
Yeah, and to bid, you just type a number. Type a number that's bigger than the number that was previously typed. You can go up by 1, you can go up by 5, you can go up by 10. If you really want it, you can just say, hey, I'll take it for whatever, and nobody's going to top you on that.
That has happened.
That has happened before.
Once or twice.
All right, where was I? I was trying to sew this piece because I ran out of bobbin threads. This has 3 on it, this has 3 on it. And 1 more with 3 on it. And then we're going to count some more. All right, let's press all that. So we're at 50. We need 20 more sets of 3. I have no idea which way that seam is trying to go. Perfect. All right, so we need to make 20 more sets of 3. I'm going to stick these right here. We're going to make 20 more sets of 3 for adding to it, and then, yeah. I'm just going to like put it on my lap, maybe, grab and sew. One. more of a variety. I feel like I'm pulling the same pieces over and over again. One, two. That's bigger than an inch.
Tell them we're at $60 so
It's
far.
at 60 so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and one more. Makes 20. So now I just need to take 20 more pieces out. And yes, there is a couple batiks mixed in here. Usually I don't mix batiks with my stuff. He's going to bring it up so you can see the quilting now.
And the back.
And the back. But if you've seen my open gate video, then you've seen it.
Yep.
It's just a meander on that one because I didn't want to take away from the birds. And sometimes you just need to have fun and do something on it. And it does have a tag and the hanging hooks. All right, I'm going to now sew all these pieces.
Yep, tell them there's another bird wall hanging.
There's another one, yes, and
Yeah,
it will
we'll
be
come
up
up
next.
Gotta make sure we're done with this one.
Gotta finish this one first.
No, we're still at 60. Oh, no, we just hit 61.
It's at 61.
$61, $61, $61. Do I hear $62, $62?
Do I hear 62? Do I hear 63? Do I hear? I cannot talk fast, so I cannot do that. Here's one for you. ICANTALKINDLETTERSVERYFAST if IFYOUCANTEFYOUYANSAYYINGTHANSMARTTHANME.
Stop, it's annoying.
He doesn't like when I do that.
I got some of the words. I got smart and tell, and I don't remember any of the others, but I did get some of the others at the beginning.
I said if you can read just as fast as I can talk, then you are just as smart as me. I used to do that to the kids when they were little to make them have to learn to spell better. Okay, I'm going to recount this to make sure that this was 20 altogether, because then I've to add one more to it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Oh, I made 22, 23. Woohoo! I'm ahead of myself here, but that's okay. If I have more made, that's just fine and dandy. So I'm adding a third one to all these now. And I should probably press them. And not with my fingers. All right. What was it?
Susan Fryer.
Oops. All right. 61 to Susan Pryor going once. 61 to Susan going twice. Sold to Susan for 61. Please contact Scott at tiffanysquiltinglife@yahoo.com and discuss how you want to pay and do all that stuff because he'll figure it out with you.
Email. It's in the chat.
He'll need your name, address, what thing, in the title. Just put one auction for the brown birds. I'm going to call that the brown birds because, they're browns and greens. And
colorful
then
ones are coming next.
the colorful ones are next. And then, yeah, let them know your address and everything and how you want to pay, and we'll get started on that. And it'll most likely go into tomorrow or the next day's mail if you get paid in time before we go out to do all that tomorrow. Actually, he'll be doing all the mail. I will be long arm quilting.
Yeah, I do all that.
Because I'm at the halfway point of long arm quilting the gravity quilt. It's Ian's quilt, and I'm trying to film a little bit of video for you guys.
And you're custom quilting it too.
And it's all being custom quilted, so it's show quilting. All right, again, $15 to start.
Ooh, and these ones are bright.
These birds are different than the previous birds. These ones are going in different directions, and they are nice and bright and colorful.
And it has hanging hooks too.
And it has hanging hooks, and it's the same size, right?
I don't know. I haven't measured it yet. I don't remember the last one's measurement.
It's like one side is a little bit wider than the other because it's not as tall as it is wide.
I don't remember the measurement on the last one. Yes, they're longer than they are tall. That much I know.
You mean wider than they are tall?
Okay. They're wider than they're tall.
Mm-hmm.
This one's 25 also. That was the last one.
25 by
22
and a half, yeah.
And I just knocked it down.
Oops, what am I doing? Trying to put that in that pile? It's because Scott's standing behind me. When things are not in the place you want them, then it doesn't work properly.
I'm sorry, it won't stay. The other one did. The hanging hooks are stuck behind it, maybe not. I don't know what the problem is.
It's not staying on the wall.
I don't know what the problem is. Well, then I'll just take it off and show it to him.
He's going to show it to you guys. Sorry, it's not staying on the wall. And when you give it back to me, let me know and I'll put it up as best as I can.
Hang it on we'll have to use the clothes pins.
So this one, the birds have wings. I quilted a wing kind of thing into each of them. And then obviously it's a miniature meander all the way around instead of a big meander. And then the sides have not the sides, the top and the bottom where the half square triangles are, those are also quilted differently. So this one's more of a custom job. And there's the back.
The hanging hooks are sparkly.
It's got sparkly rainbow hanging hooks on it. Because I had rainbow sparkly ribbon. I was like, why not? And then obviously it has a tag because I put a tag on everything. There's one for your side, one for my side. This one's at 50.
That's why I didn't want to do that. Now I gotta move the camera.
There we go. And obviously it's not flat. It is a flat quilt. It's just been rolled up. I made these new little bins over there for my auction stuff and my small quilts. So they're all rolled up in balls over there on the side of the room. All right, I need to turn these into threes now. That's the other thing. So it's 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay. There we go.
Now we're at 51.
It's at 51 now.
51.
These ones are adorable. I prefer the colorful one over the other one, but that's my personal opinion.
So far,
I like all things rainbow. That's why. Not so much traditional, although the other one is more traditional colors. This one's more modern in my brain world. I'm literally pulling one piece out at a time to do this. I need to get them done so that way they're done. That looks too solid to me. Come on. Different colors. Come on now. Get on there. Stay. Do I hear 61? Or is it at 62? I don't know.
We're
I
at
can't
60.
say.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta put a crab in that one. He's gonna be a little crabby. Although we're gonna lose half of him, but that's okay. Okay, all the extra are made. They just need to be pressed now, all of them, because I didn't press the whole other stack. All right, now to press all of this and re-put it back into piles of 10. I'm gonna re-stand back up. In the past, I never even pressed. I used to finger press everything at the table and then press the whole thing when I was done. Let me tell you the damage that I did to all my fingers. My nails would break off like so much worse than they do already on their own.
What is our sun quilt with lots of quilting?
I'm thinking. Oh, you mean my Tequila Sunrise quilt?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's up with it's sold a long time ago. If
I
that's
don't
what
know
you
if
want to
that's
know.
what she's asking. Well, it is. I don't know. Did you make a whole row and then press it though? This?
Yeah, you can make the whole row, then press it, but it's going to be kind of hard to put the next one on if the previous one isn't pressed. You still have to mush it out of the way. So I'm just doing it the hard way, pressing. But it gets me standing, which is something I need to do because my hips are hurting instead of sitting. Trust me, guys, it's not good. I was in bed all day before this live stream, literally. I didn't even want to eat, and I could barely eat dinner because I had dinner already. I could barely eat dinner. When I'm in a lot of pain, I don't want to eat. I don't want to drink. I don't want to do anything but sleep. It's kind of depressing, but yeah. Time already. Ow! Why did I do that? Because I'm me, and that's what I do. Pick up the iron by the plate. Dum me. Find it. Catherine Carlson at 60. Going.
Wait,
what?
My thing's screwed up. Hold on, let me get the chat back.
He's getting the chat back to see if someone pops in at the last minute.
Well,
Sorry,
my chat
guys.
disappeared. I don't know what it's doing.
I know, I forgot the name.
Technical crap. The chat just went away. Some other screen came up on the side where the chat's supposed to be. Okay, now I'm ready. Catherine Carlson.
Catherine Carlson at 60 going once. Catherine Carlson at 60 going twice. So to Catherine Carlson. Catherine, please email Scott, tiffanysquiltinglife at yahoo.com, and take care of it with him. Let him know your address, how you want to pay, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, one of the above. And then it'll hopefully go out tomorrow's mail if you pay for it today. I have no idea how I've been messing these piles up this whole entire time. It has 4 in it. That one must be missing 1. Whatever, it doesn't matter, as long as I get them all on here. I feel like it went silent again. And all you're hearing is my huffing and puffing and pain.
All right.
Pretty sure that's 10, but whatever. pile. And then
Is your Lisso new?
is my Oliso new? Well, it was gifted to me about, I don't know, 6, 8 months ago. Somewhere around there. No, the newest iron I got is a Euro Steam 1000-watt iron. I love it. It's great, but it doesn't have a window, so you can't see how much water is in it and know when you're going to run out. So it's really hard to use it while on live stream because you have to completely unplug it and wait for it to cool down before you can put water back in it again. You have to wait for it to steam itself the rest of the way or let the pressure out. So that's the only downfall, is it can't be used on live stream because there's no way to refill it while on live stream, and we can't tell how low it is either. So, and it can't be used while on live stream. All right. Oh, I had one more pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This does not have 10 in each then. What did I do wrong here? One of these piles is missing. Something is missing from some of these piles because I counted, but I just need to hook to 10 of these. I'm going to hook a yellow and then put the other half on there. I mean, not yellow, a gray, my background color. As long as each pile has 3, I know what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to grab a stack of these grays, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's for the top row. I don't like that laying on that. I like it that way. All right, so I'm going to put a gray in the middle of 10 of these and then put the other 3 on the other side, because that will make 7 across. Oh, let's make sure they're all facing the same direction though. Yep. This will all be the right facing seams to the right. 10. So now I'm going to finger press all of these very carefully, like all to the right. And then I'm going to add 3 on the opposite side of each one of these. And this will be the 7 across. And then we'll just do the next row, which, you know, so we have 7 rows of the way they're supposed to be. Okay, so I'm just going to put 3 now on the opposite side, but I'm also going to make sure all the seams are to the right because I want them all the same direction. And then all my top rows will have been made for 10 blocks worth. Instead of just doing 1 block at a time, you know, because that's what I was doing, 1 block at a time. I feel like this is a little bit more efficient. And then I'll make 10 of the other style because it's an A block and a B block that makes the Triple Irish Chain.
Eric having technical difficulties that you know of?
Is Eric having technical difficulties that I know of? No, why?
I don't know.
Why is he not? Was he trying to go live and couldn't, maybe?
I don't know. That was just a question.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm just going to finger press these at this point. I'm going to leave them all together because I know I have 10 of the top row done. That way I don't get anything, you know, my brain will remember I have 10 row 1s done. All right, there's 10 row 1s. I'm just going to move those out of the way. And row 2 is nothing, and row 3 is nothing. So row 2, I literally just took one of these and put another set of 10 on the opposite side. I'm going to hook 1 square to 10 of them and then hook and not sew anything. How about that?
Yeah, he was apparently having different setups and having computer issues his last live.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't see his last live, unfortunately. I know I am friends with lots of people, but I don't talk to them every single day, unfortunately, so I can't tell, you know, who's having what problems or anything at the moment. Plus, I've kind of been in my own little world lately because I've been so busy. Except for today. Today has not been a busy day at all. Trying to get a variety here. It's so hard to get a variety from this because all the little 1-inch pieces are like stuck together. Okay, unicorn feet.
Unicorn feet. Just randomly out of the blue there. That was
Randomly out of the blue, unicorn feet.
Unicorn feet.
Because it's very rainbow. And rainbow means unicorn. Apparently, I didn't even try so far. These are all laying in the same direction. I didn't even try that. And finger pressing. Now, once they are finger pressed, then I'm going to add the other 3 on it, and that will make 7 in the row. So I'm literally going to get on there, and that will be a row of 7, but with no gray pieces in this set of rows.
What do you use to thread your needle?
I use a little tiny, let me close that. It's a little needle threader. It's a Hummingbird. I use that because I can't use the threader that's built onto my Juki. Never been able to. I mean, I got it a few times, but for the life of me, I cannot do it. The needle threader on the Juki. They should have designed it a little bit better because I just can't do it. So I have a separate needle threader, and that needle threader that you're seeing now, the little Hummingbird, is best for these side needles. The needles where you thread from the side, not from front to back, because it's really hard to put it from the back side to the front on a front to back loading needle. Those you just find the groove and get it in, but most of those sweaters, like my other machine, they work great. There was a different design. This one, I cannot get it anytime. I've tried. I have tried. Trust me, I've tried. I can't do it. I love everything about this machine except for the threader. So I have my own little separate threader. And I go through a lot of them too, because the little tip on it gets broke off. Not by, whatever, it just happens. One day out of the blue, it just broke. All right, so this is now another row of 7. So 2 of the rows of 7 are nothing on them. No, 4 total in the block. And then I have to put gray on the ends, the 2 ends. So technically we need to do a set of 3 and a set of 2. I didn't make any 2 sets for that row. All right, that's those. I didn't even think anything of it to make sets of 2 for that row. So we'll just hook 2 onto these. Fat Quarter Shop sells them.
Okay, well tell them that.
Yep, Fat Quarter Shop sells the little needle threaders. The company is Dritz.
Do you find it hard to thread your long arm needle? Glide, spoon, foot?
No, you know what? Of all the threadings of all the needles, the long arm is the easiest. Yeah, it's so easy.
With the spoon foot.
With the spoon foot on it, yep, I could still thread the machine just right. Yep, I don't have a problem threading my long arm. Even with the shaky hands, I can still thread it. It's because the long arm needle has a longer divot in it on that front section, so you just slide your thread on that divot and it goes right in the hole almost every single time. I've never had a problem with that. Even with the spoon foot on, with the ruler foot on, just I've never had a problem with it. goes pretty easily for me. This is the only machine that I really struggle with because I can't use the threader very well. Two blacks next to each other. All right, and then I'm going to finger press all these and then add one more to it. And then we'll put a gray on either end because both ends get a gray. So it really doesn't matter which direction they're pressed, because when I go to lay everything out, it won't matter. I just make sure one faces the other. It's reversible, so, you know, either side, because it's going on two ends. So it won't matter when I go to put them all together. Oh, I'm not even on that. What am I doing? On this one. Not that. These.
How did you do the birds?
How did I do the birds? Go to my open gate video for, was it last month? February?
I think so.
Yeah, February open gate box. Or was it March? No, it was February because I just did March's. March was a cutesy Eastery thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was February.
Yeah, which is already gone as well. Remember? That went already. Cindy took it.
The German?
No, Cindy got that one. The open gate.
Oh, yeah.
When
John's
she was
sister.
here.
Yep.
None. She just got the
Oh,
panels.
she got fabric. Yeah,
she got fabric
panels.
from me, which is easier probably anyway.
Yeah, she got panels. That's right. Oh, well, she gave you a bunch of fabric too, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, press all these, and then I'm gonna put a gray on both ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, there. Rows of 5. I'm gonna take this off of my lap. I'm gonna grab 20 of these actually.
6:30. You gonna keep going, or you feeling it?
Let me get these on both sides real quick while my brain is still thinking about it. I'm getting like super duper pooped, that's for sure. You know, this is going to be my first triple Irish chain, and I chose to do it mini. I did a Jacob's ladder, or you can call it a jewel box block. It's, to me, it's the same thing almost. Creates the same kind of design. I did that out of minis, but I didn't go very big with that. It's one of my keep quilts that I made myself. But I've done that in a tiny version. Only one row in the entire block of this has the gray or the background on both ends of the pieces, and 5 squares in the middle, 5 1-inch squares in the middle. I'm just hoping that when it's all put together, it really does look like an Irish chain because it's so small. All right, I'm gonna press these and then I'm gonna turn it around and sew on the gray on the opposite side. Like I said, it doesn't matter which way my rows are pressed at the moment, as long as all of them are going one way, because I'll be able to flop side to side. So that way my seams nest when I go to do that. It's not going to really matter at this point because I'm just making 10 of the same thing. Well, 10 of each section of all 7 rows. Two more. I'm going to keep all these together too because, I'm not really continually sewing on this project. So that way when it's put aside, that at least it's put aside all hooked together so I know where I'm at, or else I'm just going to have to dig through piles again, and I don't want to do that. All right, so all the ones with the gray on both, I got 10 of those now.
Did you win a prize for a mini quilt? Like you won your long arm or something?
Did I win a prize for a mini quilt? What do you mean?
In a show.
Yes.
Is it a mini quilt?
Yeah, I put in a mini quilt. I'll show you guys my mini quilts before we get off of here because I'm already so pooped I don't want to be on anymore. So let me show you. So here's my Jacob's Ladder mini quilt that I made a couple years back. This one, I actually quilted it with the variegated thread on the Juki, not on the long arm. So this one, I just kept spinning it in circles and circles and circles until the whole thing was circled. And of course, it has hanging hooks because that's how I hang everything. And then here is one of my mini quilts. So this one, you could see the brown and so every other.
Thread stuck to it.
Oh, every other. So there's brown, orange, and then the colorful squares, and then brown, and the colorful squares, orange, colorful squares, brown. So I did that. I did that a long time ago on a live stream. So that's tiny. And this one's back is just farm fabric because it reminds me of a farm quilt. And there is a chicken. I'm not even going to try to find him, but there's a chicken that you can see his whole face on there. Here's another one of my miniatures. This one also has the farm fabric on the back. So this one's stars. So it's a what's the word for it? Sawtooth star. And then it has the 4 patch in the middle. So that's one of my miniatures. Again, it has the whatever. And these little ones are quilted all on this machine, not on a long arm. And then, hold on. Where's my other miniature? This one's almost miniature. This one's with 1.5-inch squares.
Oh, that is standing.
This one's all batik, so this one actually lays better, like the front and the back. And I did quilt this one on the long arm because this one I did a double feather on. But this is smaller pieces to make this because these were only 5. They made a 5-inch block. And I do have a video showing how to make this. And then my even tinier Ohio star is right here.
It's so teeny.
I literally have to hold it for you guys to see it because it's so small. It's on a little tiny hanger. You know, my hand is pretty much the size of this block. So that's one of my mini quilts. As you can tell, I like mini stuff. And then I do have a miniature 8-pointed star. And this project is actually 2-sided. That was my leftovers. And then I can't show you because they're in my other room, but I could take you to them so you guys can see my other miniature stars. So give me 2 seconds and we'll go for a trip and then I'll get, we'll go for a trip and then I'll get off of here. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to go on a trip to my other room where I keep my other miniatures. We're in the fabric room, the room that you never see. So there's one. I had these in a show. So these are called Twinkle Twinkle Little Lone Star. These are little itty bitty diamonds to make a lone star. And then here's the other one. This one, the contrast should have been stronger on the back color, but you know, I was just making a bunch of lone stars. But again, it's really, really tiny pieces. And then one more is in my bedroom. Is my other lone star. So that's my purple and pink one. Because I love making them. As I told you guys before, I like lone star quilts. So that's where the idea for the bigger lone star came from that we just worked on recently, was from me making these years ago. But nobody wanted to do tiny pieces. So obviously we did it with 2.5-inch squares instead. All right. I don't have any other tiny ones out. I don't know where they all are. I know I have more, but I don't know where they all are at the moment. There's some on the walls too, scattered around. No more in here though. All right, any questions or anything? I'm gonna get off here a little bit early because I don't feel good and I'm just in a lot of pain and all I want to do is sleep. Like seriously. I don't see any.
I don't see any questions.
All right, guys. Yes, it does take a lot of patience to make these little miniature quilts, but I love making them. So, all right, I'll see you guys all in my next video.
Did you win a contest at SewingMachinesPlus?
Yes, I won a contest with a mini quilt, and for the life of me, I don't know where it is. It's on a wall somewhere in this house. So, I don't know where it is. It's not in here. It's out there, I think. All right, guys, so I will see you in my next video. Toodles. Bye. See ya. Later, Gator.